Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. This is not a garden video. I just wanted to show you a couple of things in the garden. And the first thing is the fritillaries. They've got some blooms showing. I'm not going to be able to do much at showing you these because of the breeze coming down the alleyway. But there's another clump there. And some of the fritillaries there have got double or treble bulbs on a single stem. That's good. These are singles over here. So these are a different colour as well. They're paler, and that one looks like it might be a white one. They do occur, and I wanted to show you that. That is a rather splendid clump of primroses. That's our native primrose. Accidentally, there's a bit of a break there because I accidentally knocked the button. Hannah was down for the weekend, and we did a bit more here. What's more, the most important thing, we now have a proper plan with measurements, materials requirements and tool requirements. This daft bit here that was stuck up in that corner, cut those decking boards off because that section of decking is firm. There's nothing really wrong with it. You can stand on it, you can sort of jump about, and it doesn't really move. And it's an area of the decking that will hardly ever get trodden on anyway. So the plan. The supports going this way are 2x2. There's only one left, the other's all rotted. Yeah? But whatever's holding that end of that one is okay. It has sagged in the middle. Yeah? That was because of the weight of everything on it. If that's lifted up to the right height and supported, that's okay. So what are we going to do then? We're going to take advantage of these metal posts. See if I can show you one. I'll have to get in. If you look at that post there, it's got a metal foot on it. Yeah? Those are spikes and they're driven into the ground. And then whatever you want to put in them, which in this case is 3x3 posts, goes in the post. And the ones that we're going to get have got bolts that go through the corner and pinch it tight. So you don't struggle trying to get your piece of timber into the top. Yeah? So, the plan. This end is okay. This support is firm. I can jump up and down on that. So we're not taking that to bits, and we're not taking that to bits. So what we need to do is reconstruct a frame in here. Coming along here, everything that side of this bit is going to be a separate issue, and it's probably going to be some concrete blocks with the decking boards on top, or some concrete blocks with some timber trusses and the decking boards on top, and there'll be a separate set of decking boards. So that bit is just going to be done separately, and it doesn't have to be done when everything else is being done. Right, so what we need to construct here is a framework for the decking to go back on. It's based on 3x3 timbers, which I'm going to call cross members. There's one of them. Yeah? The end of it's rotted. This section of that wood is fine. Bear that in mind. So what we're going to do is some of those metal spike post holders. We're going to get 3 for here. 1, 2, 3. And unlike this dopey person who decided to bolt the cross members onto the side of the posts, what a twat, excuse my French, we will sit the cross members on top of the posts. So the pieces of timber that go into the metal seats don't need to be as tall as that, because they're going to have a piece of 3x3 on the top. No, they're not. They're going to have a piece of 3x3 sat on the top, plus the 2x2 cross members. You know, I have to picture this. So we will have, I'll have to move all this soil over. There's a big hole over here and too much soil there. and underneath there are rat channels, which is why you can see where I walked there, that's how much it's sunk. There's a network of tunnels over here, under here, where the rats have been. That's going to get sorted. So the soil will all be levelled, and that will make it lower, and it'll get it away from any of the timber, which is the idea. So we will have a meta post there, there and there, and a 3x3 support across here. Yeah, we've got a post there, there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, the support member was rotted, but that was onto the side. The top of the post is fine. The top of the post of that is fine. Might not look brilliant, but it is. With weight on top of it, it won't be a problem. Yeah, so we're going to put another meta post here, and then we're going to put a support cross member here. So we will have a cross member there, one here, and the one that's already here. And then we're going to get 3 or 4 new ones of these to go with the one we've already got, which will be what our decking boards will fit to. And the new ones will sit on the edge of that cross member there. This will be the central support through here, and they will tuck in under there like this one. So that's the plan. And then once the framework is in place and is all nice and sturdy and bedded in, the boards can go back on. And we will probably need 1, maybe 2 new boards, because most of the boards are okay. That lot's not getting taken up now, so we haven't got to replace any of that. We've got a couple of boards that have got rotten ends. The rest of the board's okay. So if you imagine this is 2.4 meters, the standard length basically in the building trades, and the end of it's gone. Well, we've got 2.3 of a board with nothing wrong with it. That'll make several pieces to go in there. Yeah, so we've got bits that we will be able to use to do that corner, and that will just be an add-on bit. Yeah, and then we'll get some new feather board to repair the fence, just to fill that hole in. And this whole corner doesn't need taking apart, which means I don't have to undo all those screws and take that board off, which releases the fence post because it's broken at the bottom, because that board is screwed to the fence post and the big support holding the corner of the shed up. That stops the fence post blowing about in the wind. And if we took that board off, then we'd have to tie the fence post to the washing line like we did before I came up with that idea. But if that slot's staying as it is, then nothing needs to be taken apart. So that's the plan. Oh, let's get out without breaking my neck. We did trip over several times on the weekend. Yes, so 3x3 cross member on top of posts on metal spikes. Yeah, 3x3 cross member from there to there with a new support post in the middle, and then 2x2 cross members. All this will be pressure treated. I think it's UC4 standard, which they reckon you could actually use a post stood in water and it would last quite a few years. Well, once the boards are back on, underneath doesn't actually get that wet as long as the boards are butted up nice and tight. So we did a bit of work taking a bit more to bits, but a lot of it was measuring and planning and working out the size of the timber to get the posts. The posts, I found a set of 4 complete with the bolts to squeeze them together when the posts go in there, for 30 quid for 4. So that's that bit done. The 3x3 cross members are nowhere near as expensive as I thought. We need 2 of those 2.4s, and then we need quite a lot of the 2x2. But because we haven't taken that apart, we don't need them to go right up in there. They will stop on that cross member. So that's it, planned. And then we're going to need a bucket full of flipping screws of various lengths, because the cross members are 3x3. We've got to have screws long enough to go through 3x3 and into the top of the post to hold them still. They don't have to be rigid, they just need to be held still. And then we will need quite a few screws long enough to go through the 2x2 into the 3x3 cross members. Those can be 3.5 inches, that'll be fine. And then we're going to need a load of new decking screws, because the concept with the decking, bearing in mind, whoops, dandelions are not allowed to flower, bearing in mind the decking has still got all the screws in it and they won't come out because the top of the screw has no thread on it. They're just wedged in there, just forced in there. So I am hoping my son's going to come and help me put this lot together, and once I've got all the materials, and he's got an angle grinder which will take these screws off, because already Hannah cut her hand on one of those moving them, doing me a favour, basically moving some of the boards off of there down to there so that I can see from my seat onto the bird feeder again, because I said it was sad that I'd lost my view to the bird feeder. So that was the first thing she did, and cut her hand. And of course her dose of blood thinners is a lot higher than mine, so she bleeds quite badly if she gets a nick. So that's it. That's the plan. Now we just got to find days where we're in the mood to get on with it. So there we go. And let's find something nice to end on. Daffodil? Yeah, let's end on a daffodil. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.